First pod, my 30. Come on. I still feel just as mature. I still feel like honestly, I've been feeling like I'm pretty much like I'm 18 since I was 18. I don't know.
It's like life begins now.
At 30?
Yeah. For real. That's how I feel. I mean, especially now I'm 41 now. 30 is like, everything until 30 is like you figuring shit out. At 30, you're supposed to start honing in on what you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish, get serious about shit. That's how I feel.
Do you still feel the same at 40 as 30? Because like I know when I was, all right, so when I was like in graduated high school, I feel like when you're in high school, you feel like you have everything figured out. Then you turn like 25, 26, and you start to actually realize that how much you didn't know at 18 and how much you actually have evolved like mentally and just how you look at the world and thinking about the future, especially because I think when you're in high school, you feel like high school is like forever.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
What about from like 30 to 40? Is there still more evolution, or is your mind pretty much locked in like at what you were at 30?
No, you get to me, right? I got a really clear sense of how much I had done, how much I needed to do, and things I absolutely wanted to start accomplishing specifically, like life stuff, getting married, home, you know what I'm saying, and then building legacy, right? Like, I didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do when I was 18. So, you know.
Many people don't.
True. Yeah, I figured all that stuff out in my 20s, and so by the time I got to 30, it was more so like, okay, now life begins. Now that I have the information, now it's time to put together a plan and start working towards where my actual goals are.
Also, congrats on getting married. That happened since our last pod.
Yeah. I'm very, very happy about it. The best decision I ever made.
Y'all the 757 Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Yo, like, we be hearing that.
Oh, people say that for real?
Oh, no. People definitely be saying that.
That's fire.
It's either that or, like, sometimes we walking down the street holding hands because we do that. That's not for show. Like, we just really, like, love each other and hold hands and stuff. And people will be like, Batman, run for mayor. Or they'll say, like, they'll tell her to run for city council or something. Like, we made a pledge to each other before we got married that we was never running for any publicly held elected office. Like, we're not doing that.
Why was it so serious that you guys had to make a pledge for that?
Because we had individually been asked multiple times from different people before we even got together. Like, you know how somebody can see something in you? Like, damn, Bat, you doing so much of the political stuff and you can connect the dots between this and that. Man, you will make a really good politician. She was hearing that on her side of her world. So when we got together, I started seeing some of those same people say that to her in front of me, and she started seeing likewise. So it was like, all right, like, not that it was like, all right, this is serious. It just came up in conversation one day, and it was just like, we don't want to do that. We feel like we're most impactful supporting issues and people that we believe in, but not us being in the forefront like that.
Yeah. Well, it does seem like a lot of times you can make a bigger impact by not even being in politics, kind of just being in your community as a regular civilian. I feel like you can make a big impact like that. So I always tell Bobby Blaze that I feel like he can be mayor one day. I can really see Bobby being like mayor of Hampton one day.
I could see that. I think Hampton is it's a special place, and I do think it would be open. I think the citizens of Hampton would be open and fortunate to have Bobby as a mayor, honestly. I think he's going to do something where he ends up galvanizing a lot of people, even outside of music. I think music will be like a really big thing that he does, and he's going to break through and do that. But I think whether it's politics or a lot of community stuff, and him being a thought leader is going to be a thing.
Yeah, we talked about that because we did a pod with him right before I went to Bosnia a couple months ago. And I was like, we were pretty much talking about, I was like, bro, like, obviously you can't rap forever.
Right.
You know, and he already does a lot of community outreach and a lot of community stuff. I'm like, have you thought about, you know, what is your next step? Instead of having like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, like what is your next step to really lean into this community stuff even more? Yeah. And he has been thinking about that. So that was like also on his mind at the time.
Well, I'll tell you something that not too many people know, which is me and him are supposed to be scheduling a meeting so I can officially come on as his management anyway. So
as far as his music,
but I don't really work like that. If I'm managing you or if we're going to partner with you in any way, because it's more a partnership than management, it will be holistic. It will be the whole thing. Like, it's like, Bobby, whatever you're trying to do, I'm with it. Like, let's figure out how to do it. It's not going to be like, segment it. Like, I'm just managing you on music. But what if the other things connect to the thing that I'm managing for? It don't even make sense to do it like that. Unless you're the kind of manager that can do that. But me, I wanna help artists not only in their careers, but what are some of the business opportunities that might come their way? What are some of the community things they want to do to give back? Like, I know how to do some of that stuff, so let's do it.
How do you look at being a manager in 2025? Because I know you manage Seven Siege and do a lot of stuff with them.
I do not manage Seven Siege.
You don't?
No. Let's get into it. So DarkNightENT is my music marketing promotions company. Seven Siege are clients of DarkNightENT on the music marketing side. I just literally launched NightVision Management, which is a separate entity, which is just managing talent. So I've signed 2 DJs, Mike Milborn, who's also an artist and musician. So
is that the white dude? Mm-hmm. I think I met him. Yeah,
that's my guy. My guy. And then DJ Illmatic Beats, the legendary DJ Illmatic Beats.
Hold up, Illmatic Beats. Is did he work with Nas?
No, he was actually he's Malice's tour DJ.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've signed both of them, right? Their management. Literally yesterday, Shan came on board. So now Shan is part of NightVision Management. So shout out to Shan Hampton. You know what I'm saying? She's a superstar. I've always looked at her like that. So does my wife. We're really close to her and feel like, she has what it takes to get to the next level. And she has a really good team. So we're going to add to the team and get her to where she's trying to go. So
Shan is super fire. I'm still pissed because our latest pod with her, we had a technical difficulty in her close-up angle.
Okay.
So we just didn't have that angle for the pod, which pissed me off because that's the only time that's ever happened. And I was like, bro, like what?
Listen, your cameras couldn't handle the spotlight.
The swag, they couldn't handle the Shan swag.
Listen, bro, it's understandable. I get it. There'll be another opportunity, I promise. I'll make sure that she comes back over here.
Why did you decide now because you have the music marketing and promotions company, why did you decide to do this now, and how do you look at just being a manager of an artist in 2025?
Yeah, so
what is your role there?
I think I had always told artists, because I've been asked like a ton, the main reason I decided that I wanted to start doing management is, one, the voices were getting too loud. It was too many people asking me, could I manage them? That was one. So it was like, all right, like that's a thing. But 2, I don't do anything on anybody else's timeline. So I had already said maybe in about 5 to 10 years I would do it, which would have put us at, 2025? That would have put us at like 2030 or something. And it just felt like now was a good time, if I had the capacity, which I definitely have the capacity now, to start seeing who was out there. Because some of these artists may not have 5 years to figure it out. They might be at the tipping point now, and I might be playing around with what could be something amazing. And so I definitely put together a short list of artists that I felt like I wanted to work with on the management side. And then what you're seeing now is I'm starting to have conversations with them. So again, Illmatic Beats, Mike Milborn. We were honored to acquire Shan as a client or management client Saturday morning before we did our listening event with Nation, and then
at the bowling alley.
That was for Nation, and then we have 2 more people on the list, and I'll share with you because we're already talking, and you were really getting exclusive because I hadn't sat down to talk with him. But one is Bobby Blaze. Bobby had already asked me last year or year before last if I had thought about it, if I ever thought about it seriously, would I want to manage him or whatever. And I told him yes, but I want to run around the street, I want to play around a little bit more, and then once I get a little older I'll do it. But that's what I was telling myself, but I've been ready to do it. Like I could do it. So Bobby has an incredible talent, and so I want to help him now. I want to help Shan now. And then the last person is going to be Tyler Donovan. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't mean that I sit down with him and I actually get him, because I'm not going to take it for granted. I'm going to sit down and we're going to talk it through, and if it makes sense, we're going to lock him in. But my intention is for those 3, to bring them on. We got Shan, happy about it. Like I said, Bobby, I'm going to have a conversation probably this week, and Tyler probably in a few weeks. You know what I'm saying? And then, that's going to be it. I'm not trying to manage like 10 artists or nothing like that. I want to have a team that I believe in, and kind of move forward from there. So there's Dark Knight, and those will be music marketing clients. And then NightVision Management will be, you can be a DJ or artist or creative or maybe all of that kind of stuff. And we're going to help you figure out all of your dreams, if that makes sense. So
how do you approach an artist to present to them like you being their manager? Like, what value do you bring to that situation?
Right. So the biggest thing is I'm not even looking at it as necessarily management. If you notice, everybody that I said to you are people who are multi-talented. For instance, Shan is not only an artist, but she's a songwriter. She does choreo, but Shan is like super smart. So she knows exactly who she is and what she wants to kind of do. So a lot of our conversation yesterday was, you know, I want to share these ideas with you back. Like, you know, what do you think kind of thing? And she was like, I want to come over and whiteboard all of your stuff. And I'm like, okay, cool. I need you to know, Shan, before we even start any of this, this is about what you want. This is not me trying to push my agenda on you. And I'm not. You tell me what you want to do, and my job is to help you figure out how to get there. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And so to answer your question, it's more, I'm looking at it more as a partnership, and myself as in my team, because I have a team, as a agency more so than the, you know, just the management relationship. Like, because again, what if they want to do community give back? Is that really part of management? No, because I wouldn't technically be getting any money, right?
I guess like, what does a manager really do? Like, are you creating and finding opportunities for these people, or are you like taking the opportunities they already have and kind of managing those,
right,
or both of those?
So my understanding of what a manager was, how I was taught back in the day, was a manager is only supposed to be brought into a situation with an artist when an artist has so much going on that they literally can't manage it all by themselves anymore. That's how I was taught. You know what I'm saying? You could say by the way I said the definition. But I think, the way I want to do it is, what if an opportunity needs to be created? Then do we just wait and whatever? I don't want to do that. I don't want to wait. I want to be proactive. So what are the things that are on the table? What are the things that you want to do? What are the things or the ways that we can be helpful to the community, you know, things that you care about? And what are the brand partnerships or things that we need to bring to life? Like, I want to do all of that. I don't want to be segmented into a little box. I want to help artists just figure it out. Like, let's be creative. Let's not be stagnant. Something to do.
You mentioned Tyler too. I know he just did the Live from the Couch with Antidote Agency. Yep,
Antidote's dope. I love Sober and Jay and all those guys. So yeah.
I have a pod coming up with Jay. I think actually on Wednesday.
Okay, dope.
He's a cool guy. I've met him a few times. Like he showed me nothing but love. Like when he throws his shows, like at the Waka show, he invited me out. He got me and my girl backstage. Like, shows love. We also have another episode with Tyler coming up too.
So with Jay, I want to say this publicly. We need more people like Jay and his team and what Antidote Agency are doing.
Bringing as far as bringing bigger artists to the city.
Well, temperament, right? Like when you're around them, they're like even-keeled individuals, right? Like they don't let the moment get too big for them. I've been around people who, when they're doing a show or whatever, they turn Hollywood on you, and I hate that. Like, as someone who has actually been around A-list stars. Do I come across as me and you can't have a conversation? Like, I'm waiting for you to get bigger for me to the F with what you got going on?
Bro, yeah, you be hella jaded. No, I'm just kidding. No, not at all.
That's how that's how narratives get started. No, I'm just saying, once you're around a couple people that get an opportunity to do something big and they start switching up on everybody, then it leaves a bad taste in your mouth, right?
That is weird, but I will say, I don't think a lot of our artists are that way. To me, that's what sets us apart. Like, I've been to other areas of the country and experienced people like that. And I always say, like, that's what sets the 757 apart. Like, we aren't jaded. But then it's like, is it because we haven't really reached those heights yet? Like, I don't know. Like, maybe if we start getting more success, like, will we confront that energy? Like, will we start to become jaded? Like,
and that'll be interesting to see. But what I think more so than anything, I think there are more people who think like myself and you and probably others, where it's like, we remember when people weren't taking us seriously or what have you, and we hold on to that. Or when we remember somebody flexed on us or stunted on us, and we probably made a promise, because I know I did, that if I get in position, I'm never going to act like whatever this is, right? If I get next to a big star, I want to still be able to dap up, you know what I'm saying, the guy who just started rapping yesterday and give him the same level of respect as the guy who's already on. I don't see why you would treat anybody different. Like, that
can go two ways. So you can remember how people treated you when you were coming up, and it can make you bitter. So that can make you jaded. But then on the other hand, like I'll tell this story on the podcast like before, but I always remember before I started my podcast, there was another podcast in the city. I don't got to say the name, but I wanted to go on their podcast. This is when I was just making music. And the way the guy denied me, he was pretty much like, what are we going to talk about? Like, I have nothing to talk to you about. Like, I felt like he like kind of like just dissed me, like the way he turned me away.
Right.
And I always remember how that made me feel. So like even to this day, when people ask me to come on the pod, if I'm like just genuinely not interested in talking to them at the moment or whatever it is, like I'll still respectfully say like, which is really the truth. I'll just be like, I'm actually booked up for a while. Just stay in touch. Like hit me up down the line sometime, right? And because I remember how that made me feel.
Absolutely. We got to remember that, you know, we're all human beings, and especially being in this lane of being creatives, like it's such an emotional thing. Like you're trying to create whatever it is and put it out in the world. And so you want to be around people who are going to reciprocate that energy and treat you with respect, not even necessarily love and kindness, but like just a level of respect as we all trying to figure our way through this thing. So I just think it's really important for everybody as we do start to level up to remember where we started, and when we interact with people, treat them the same way you would want to be treated before somebody try to do something crazy to you. Like, let's start just treating each other better, again, as we're all on this collective journey.
Do you see a major level up incoming for this area?
1,000%. You're never going to be able to talk me out of that. Every year I think we get closer. I think it could happen a little faster than it's happening, but there is incremental growth like every year. I think when we had something to water, and I think a lot of people are putting maybe too much, right, hopes and dreams and maybe pressure on Pharrell and his team to help everybody, which is impossible, and that shouldn't even have been the thing. But I think what it's really going to take is a lot of high level cool things happening, either in quick succession or at the same time. So when you have stuff like the R&B Block Party, when you have stuff like the Rock the Dock that my guy Boss Backs, who's actually from Hampton,
got a pop up with him too. Cousins Fest. Like when you have all of these different things that are starting to happen, actually Cousins Fest and I believe R&B Block Party are the same people, so that's cool. But then again, there's so many other things happening. There's things starting to happen in Newport News now. Hampton. What's happening in Newport News?
There's a Halloween event happening.
What's that?
Halloween Festival, I believe it's happening. Halloween. That's happening, I believe, the first weekend in October. I know because I got a call about possibly somebody that I'm working with being on the bill.
Yeah, see what that is. That's just it's a music festival.
It's a festival.
This right here?
Probably. I hadn't even been to the website. Yeah, that looks like what it is. Yep.
Is there a description on what this thing is? Zoom in on that.
This is already more information than I have.
Newport News is Harvard.
2-day family.
Bro, my vision is getting fucked up. I was making it worse, Karen. Unhighlight it. Halloween is Newport News harvesting spooky fun for everyone as we prepare for the Halloween festival. 2-day family-friendly festival will be held at Newport News Park at October 4th and 5th. Includes traditional marketplace. That's crazy, bro. My vision is fucked up. Side note, I just went to the doctor recently.
Yeah.
And they checked my vision. You know how you can read the letters and shit?
Yes.
So I couldn't read like none of the smaller ones. And like before, I used to have 20/20 vision, bro. Fucking.
How does that make you feel?
Listen, so I was like, before I started, the lady was like, "Do you wear glasses?" I was like, "Nah." So I'm like struggling trying to read these letters, and she's like laughing. She's like, because the way I'm saying it just sounds funny, I guess. And she's like, "You sure you don't wear glasses?" I'm like, "Nah." I don't know, bro.
Are you nervous about your next DMV visit? Because that's next. Gotta be.
Well, I think they took away, you can't get fined for driving without a license anymore. So I might not even go.
Okay. These are interesting conversations.
But okay, so you think, well, I also agree. I think I see big things for this area.
1,000%.
It's going to take all of us working together. It's going to take us doing cool shit. It's going to take us staying in VA. Yes. If you have cool ideas, if you have cool things to do, make it happen here.
Make it happen.
Why
here.
go share that with and put that spotlight on another area and do it somewhere else? Like, do it here if you can. I know sometimes like things might not be as easy to do here.
Some lanes and some personalities need to actually be in a LA or New York, and I completely respect that. But it should not be a common narrative where to make it like you got to feel like you have to make it out of Virginia. It should feel like it's going to be work, but I can do whatever I'm trying to do here in Virginia and make a life for myself. Yeah. It should feel like that. So I'm dedicated. Me and my wife are dedicated to that. That's why we're not moving. Like, we're going to be here. So
I know you're also on you told me I think you're on the community board for the Timberland Way.
I'm on a few
up.
different committees for the Timberland Way weekend that's happening in October. So what's happening is Timberland is getting a street named after him, right? That's one.
And a key to the city.
He's also getting a key to the city. My understanding is that Timberland did not even want any of this to happen if other notable producers in the area were not also recognized.
Really?
So he's going to get the key to the city. And then Bink Dog, shout out to Bink, Knots Raw, my brother Hannon Lane, and Danger Hands, right? Goes by Danger now, are all getting proclamations from the city of Virginia Beach. So that's all going to happen at the same time.
What's a proclamation?
Acknowledgement from the city, like, we appreciate the hard work you're doing to not only uplift yourself, but your community and your city, that kind of thing.
I want to get all those guys in the pod as well, especially Bink. I feel like Bink is very vocal on social media about
very much so.
Stuff that pisses him off, and I want to hear about that.
Okay, the good thing is one of the communities
Like he has a lot to say.
Oh, he has a lot to say.
Yeah.
One of the committees I'm on is actually the VIP and hospitality committee. So we're actually going to be directly dealing with all four of the producers to make sure whatever they need for, I guess, any of the events throughout the weekend, that we're going to make sure they're good. So, I mean, Bink is a good guy. You know what I'm saying? So, I'll do what I can to make sure that he gets over here and sits on this couch with you.
I love it. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
I love that the city is showing support and celebrating our talent. You know, I feel like Timberland went through a little hiccup with the AI stuff. He was getting a lot of backlash.
Yeah.
Which I've kind of changed my tune on it now.
Okay.
Like, I feel, because when it first happened, I'm like, I don't like it. It's taking jobs away from artists or whatever the case is. I thought it wouldn't work because there's just no person behind this music, right? For like a fan to connect with.
Yeah.
But then I'm thinking about it, like, I changed kind of my perspective. I'm like, okay, instead of thinking of it like a traditional artist, right?
Okay.
Think of it as like a cartoon. Like, how many cartoons do we watch, or animes, where it's clearly a cartoon, it's not a real person,
right?
And then there's a soundtrack to it, there's a music, there's a whole world created, right?
There's a human voice.
There is a human voice in those, and usually in those soundtracks.
But I understand what you're saying.
That just thinking like how maybe it could work.
Yes.
Right? You can create a world around this character.
Yes. And
that world just has a soundtrack to it.
Now, right? I'm glad that you brought that up, right? Because what that tells me is, and I love the way that you actually framed it. Sometimes your intention is not framed or presented to the public the right way, right? Like, you could have the best of intentions, like, but if it is not, again, articulated in a way that people can understand what you're trying to actually do with it, it's going to come off the other way, where it feels like you're trying to replace artists with AI, which probably isn't the case. Maybe Timberland has felt like, I can still do whatever I do with, you know, all of these dope artists in real life, but I also want to try this. Like, what does this landscape look like? Let me see if I can figure this out. And if that's its intention, maybe the messaging wasn't 100% like correct, or we just took it the wrong way. But I think even when he comes for the weekend, that'll be an opportunity for him to put it in proper context. But I think the point I'm making is that is the beauty of public relations and marketing and all of that kind of stuff. There is a way that narrative can be corrected. So he says it exactly the way that he feels. You know what I'm saying? So who knows, you know, what it is. But again, opportunity and space for him to say exactly how he feels, since he's going to be here for 3 days. But let me also say this. For the Timberland weekend, the people spearheading this did an amazing job of getting the permits and getting the city to like sign on. And that will be Tamaya, Michelle, who was actually Timberland's executive assistant and cousin, Mr. Cash Green, I should say Councilman Cash Green from the city of Virginia Beach, and then Julian Rivera, DJ, who brought me into the situation, and then we have LaTroy and Trina, but it's an internal team. It's about 30 people. So, you know, everybody is mission focused. Everybody cares about not only Timberland, but cares about this area. And so this isn't a thing where a bunch of people are coming from somewhere else to put this thing together. I believe almost every person that's a part of this is like from here. So this is being done with love and intention and respect for Timberland, and just wanting to do the best by his legacy and to put something dope together for Hampton Roads in Virginia. So
pull up that post that we did. Just show people one more time the events. I know there's some ticketed events that you got to pay
some
for.
Ticketed and there's ticketed events and there's some free to the public joints. Yep.
Let's see that. Because it's next month, I think October. I want to say
it's
14th
October
or 16th,
17th, 18th, and 19th, which is the Friday, the Saturday, and the Sunday.
So while he's pulling that up, I guess also with the AI artists, it doesn't necessarily mean there's no human input. You can have
Very true.
a lot of human producers working on it, songwriters, videographers, people like putting together the whole package.
Yeah.
You can have people doing reference tracks.
Yep.
Like, I don't think it necessarily means like there's nobody involved.
Right. And a lot of times when there's something new, I either take I'm going to lean all the way in on whatever this is, or I take the wait and see approach where I'm just neutral. Because again, with something like AI, me and my wife use ChatGPT like every day. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about the free version. We love ChatGPT enough, and it helps us enough that we pay for the $20 a month version.
What do you mainly use it for?
If we're trying to work through, like if I have a really dope idea, but I'm having trouble articulating myself in, document form, I may type in 4 or 5 sentences or maybe a paragraph or 2 just to get it out, out of my head, and then organize this thought for me and then see what it spits out. Stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Stuff that'll save me like 20 minutes of time. So I never do anything where there's not at least a kernel of an idea. I would never want to lean on something like that because I love my brain and the way I think. But I use it to organize my thoughts. I use it to, if I have 2/3 of an idea, maybe it gives me the other third, that kind of stuff. Helps organize your schedule and reminders and all kinds of cool stuff. So
have you heard about that ChatGPT employee that died? And they're saying he committed suicide. But there's a lot of speculation that the company got him killed because he was coming out against them. Tucker Carlson just did an interview with Sam Altman, the creator of ChatGPT.
Right.
And it was like a real, it was like a class in journalism.
Okay.
How to ask tough questions. Great interview.
Did you glean anything from that? Like, did you take notes and figure out how to integrate that into what you do? Or you were just admiring it as a fan?
Both.
Okay.
Both. So me, I do watch a lot of different interviewers and podcasters.
I can tell, by the way.
I do learn stuff from it, right? And it's a lot of times it's very subtle things. Sometimes sometimes I'll pick up on something. Like for me, a lot of times I'll pick up on stuff and I'll understand it from a feeling. Like I'll get a feeling of what's the right thing to do or what's the wrong thing to do. But almost I won't really put it into words yet. Sometimes it takes me a little bit of time. I'll feel something out and I'm like, okay, this makes sense, but it won't be till months later where I'll kind of put it in words in my brain, why this is it, why this is the way it is.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I'll, especially during COVID and this war in Gaza, I'll look at the landscape to see how are these other journalists covering this.
Got it.
Right. And for me, a lot of times which I've been kind of trying to figure out how to do, is to be able to cover a story and take out your feelings out of it. Take out your emotions out of it. Yeah. And just cover it from this is what's going on, and I'm taking myself out of it.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's dope. I mean, I think that shows that, however much fun you were having when you first started, that you are taking this very seriously on a certain level. And I can appreciate that because I'm the kind of person that when I got into everything that I'm doing, all I was doing was reading books and articles and watching YouTube videos and documentaries. And I still do that. I feel like I'm really good at what I do, but I feel like I'm going to forever be a student of the game. And so if you're going to be great, you got to continue to, try to improve and hone in on your craft. And so when you consistently learning and looking for nuggets of information, it's going to make you better incrementally and probably faster than maybe even some of your peers. So I can respect that.
Yeah, I try not to box myself in. In today's media landscape, everything is so polarized. It's so if you're with this, you're anti this. And it's what happened to the nuance?
Well, we don't really have any nuance in the news media landscape. Let me say that. Not for everything, but I think two people can have a nuanced conversation between social media and the news media and all these different kinds of media that we have now. You there's money in being divisive. There's money in being polarizing. And I think a lot of people have picked up on that. So, I think it's always important to be either know what you're talking about or be really, really, really careful with your wording, because when you put it on these big platforms, they can be misinterpreted. And one thing I'm super careful of is I never want to be misunderstood. Like, if I say something, I want you to hold me to exactly what I said. Now, if I'm standing on something and I'm completely wrong, I'm gonna come back and apologize and what have you. But I try to think about everything I say anyway. So that's just kind of how I move through life.
Well, when it comes to being misunderstood too, it kind of comes down to the person that's watching you's level of understanding. Mm-hmm. So I can say something that makes total sense to me,
right?
Makes total sense to you,
yep.
And then somebody that doesn't really I'm not trying to call somebody dumb or whatever. Like,
right.
I don't consider myself super smart, but like somebody might just not have that level of understanding or like emotional intelligence or ability to understand what you're saying.
What you were saying in that moment.
So it's not really on you for not like articulating yourself the right way. It's kind of on how that person takes it.
I mean, and
that's how I see it.
I think that's true, but I also, moving in this world, understand that, once whatever it is that you're saying leaves your mouth or whatever it is, it's almost it's left up to interpretation too. I leave room for people to misinterpret so I can be as clear and succinct as I possibly want, but somebody could see something on Facebook that I said and take it a whole nother way. So I got to make sure before I even do that I even want to deal with the possible backlash. And now that I'm older, if it's something that I'm not really going to stand all the way for and I don't have the energy to do whatever, I might not even post it. Like, I do that all the time. Like, I might type out 10 things a day and I'm like, damn, that's clever as hell. Like, that's dope. That's dope. That's fire. And then I'm like, I got a meeting in 20 minutes. Like, what are all the ways that this could go left or go right? And if I feel like it's too many ways, I might just delete and don't even post the shit. Like, that's just kind of how I be with it. And, it just kind of depends on where you at with the situation. So I have so much respect for you and others that are in the media space, because it's like a minefield and it's like a ever evolving minefield. So it's like, y'all got to deal with a lot. And so I respect that, but I also salute it, because I don't have the patience nor the bandwidth to be dealing with that all day anyway. So
I kind of look at it like you can never please everyone. And
100%.
So at the end of the day, no matter what I do or say, somebody's not going to agree with it.
1,000%.
So at the end of the day, all I can do is be honest and be myself.
That's right.
And whatever comes with that, I guess comes with that. So yeah, in the media space, also weird because there's the what's it called? The Overton window. You know what the Overton window is? Mm-hmm. So like certain things are acceptable to say in society, right? Mm-hmm. That's the Overton window. Like, and what's in that window is acceptable to say.
Right.
But the thing is, that changes. The Overton window, it moves. Like, look at during COVID. Mm-hmm. People were getting canceled for saying what now is known to be the truth.
Right.
The shutdowns did more harm than good. Mm-hmm. The vaccines didn't stop you from spreading it or getting it.
Right.
The mask didn't work. Like, everything that people were literally getting silenced and losing their jobs and, like, losing their, like, friendships and shit over. Like, now it's the truth. Now we all recognize it.
Well, and I think even when you talk about face masks, right? I think that was something that I thought was fascinating, because the way I looked at everything was Japan and their culture have been wearing face masks for years. That's like ingrained in what they do. Like,
but for them, I think they wear them. If I'm sick, I'll wear one.
So they're doing it to be polite
to
within
help
their
other
culture.
people.
But I just think that's dope. Yeah.
No,
I just think that's
like
dope.
That, yeah.
And now it's so normalized in our society, right? Where I'm sure a lot of us are glad like we don't have to wear it. I was walking on a college campus like the other day, and I seen like 10 people, and not even inside, outside. Like, I see people outside, whether you're on a college campus or not, walking around with face masks. And I think that's cool that we have that freedom. I also think it's cool that people, because I think people would have been doing it before if it wasn't they would have been seen maybe as crazy before. But now it's like we already had this thing where everybody was wearing masks. So if nobody's wearing masks and I still wearing mine, that's just me taking care of my health or whatever. This is what I'm on. And it's so normalized that nobody's going to look at you and laugh no more. So I think that's cool. I mean, I'm not doing it, but I can respect somebody else who, chooses to do things the way they want to do it. So
what do you think about like mass hysteria or like a mass, like you're a little bit older than me, so you've seen a few more like
World events.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It seems like we're talking about COVID or certain things. Like it's like the media starts pushing like these fear campaigns, and it seems like everybody goes into this mass hysteria mode. Like you can't think logically anymore.
Yeah.
Like what is that?
I mean, I can't tell you what it is. I mean, what I can speak on is the news makes money off of ratings. And so I always try to think of anything that happens from that lens. And almost all news, depending on what network you're looking at, is slanted one way or the other. And so I just try to, what you were speaking to earlier, I try to listen to what actually happened. Everything on top is like, that's sauce, right? Like, I don't necessarily care about the sauce depending on who it is. I just want the information, and I want to be able to make the decision on how I feel about it on my own. That being said, to your point, 9/11, for instance, right? Like, that just, whatever. Like, do you know on 9/11 when that happened, I had graduated from high school, and I had signed up to be in the Marine Corps. And so the morning that 9/11 happened, I was about 3 or 4 weeks from going to boot camp. And so I was in my parents' house, in my room, right, my childhood room, sleeping when 9/11 happened. So my mom was watching the news, you know what I'm saying, like going hysterical, ran upstairs, tried to wake me up. I think I had stayed up late the night before, so she having a hard time trying to wake me up, all of that kind of stuff. And it's like, just in disbelief, right? Because we at war, right? Or we about to go to war, and I'm about to go to boot camp. So I'm in the thick of it. And like, what does that mean for me and life? And so, things like COVID happening or whatever, on one side, it's like, I always think about our men and women that serve first in the military, because I have a lot of respect for that, because I did that, and I have a family who all proudly serve.
Did you end up going to boot camp?
I went to Marine Corps boot camp, and then I actually had to later on go to Navy boot camp when I actually ended up serving in the Navy for a few years. So
right after 9/11? No.
This was like a year or two later that I went in the Navy. So I had to do boot camp all over again, and I served on the USS Ronald Reagan, which was based out of San Diego at that time.
Did you guys like deploy anywhere, or?
The ship actually deployed. They went to Japan, but like when they were doing like field exercises and getting the ship ready to be, active, right? We did a lot of stuff where we were stationed in the middle of the ocean, and we went to Hawaii like a couple of times or whatever. But it would be like Friday, and we had to go on a boat, and then they would put us in the water and like park the boat there, and then we'd run all the drills and all that. So they were getting the ship seaworthy and all of that. So before they finished like their final test and was like getting deployed, I think to Japan or somewhere out there, is when I actually got discharged from the military. And that kind of goes into what we were talking about the last time I was here, which was me and you talked about what led to me starting my own company, Dark Knight, and I had interned for Def Jam Atlantic on the street team and all that kind of stuff. I remember that.
I remember also asking you, are you afraid of getting sued? But,
right. Still not afraid.
I don't know who owns the rights to Batman and Dark Knight, but yeah.
It would be Warner Brothers in DC. Still not afraid. And my answer to you was the same as it would be now. Like, I'm a marketing guy, so that's a good problem to have. One, that means that I'm doing something where they feel like they should be contacting me.
Well, if you get big enough, God willing to do, God, great hopes for you, that you will get sued, 100%.
Cool. And then guess what? I will change my name. I will change the company name before it goes to anything where I have to pay anybody $1, because I'm creative enough to come up with another name.
Okay.
But the point I was making was, when I was interning, I interned up to me going to boot camp. And so I had to go in the Navy. So now I'm in San Diego, and I'm so far away from my dream, right? So I'm in the Navy, going on the ship, working every day, all that stuff. But I'm like, I still want to do this music marketing thing. I'm not ready to go for my dream. So the first time Dark Knight was actually really a thing was in San Diego, technically, because I was by myself, and I would get off the ship, take off my uniform, put on street clothes, whatever it was, and I would go to clubs in San Diego and be like, I got a whole street team. if you give me $500 a month, we're going to put out these 5,000 flyers and like we're going to get it popping for you. But it would be just me. So I would have like 6 boxes in my car. I had like a little Nissan Altima and I would put out flyers all over San Diego myself. Now the job got done. I put out every single flyer I'm handing it to a person, putting it in shops, festivals, whatever. And I was getting all the clubs like popping locally in San Diego. But I did it more so I could feel like myself, to feel normal. But it also got me to learn the lay of the land of San Diego. So I think we talked about that. Interning, you get to learn where you're from and all the important players. So I wanted to be sharp for when I came back to Virginia and hop back into all of the stuff. So I kept my mind occupied while I was in San Diego. So I was promoting concerts and clubs and doing all kind of events. There was some big party, some club college party that I did in Mexico. And I remember it was like for G Unit and it was like Mike Jones and somebody else. But I was promoting that thing and then I ended up going to Mexico and like partying and doing the whole thing and all of that. But I think the moral of the story, everything I'm saying is that's how deep of a passion and determination that I had for what I was doing. Like even though my dream got deferred a little bit, I was serving my country proudly, right? But I never let it deter exactly what I was trying to do. Like I got in San Diego, I got my bearings, and I kept going. So by the time I was leaving to get out of the military, I had my car, I had my money saved up from the Navy, and I had my money saved up from, doing street promotion in San Diego. When I came back, I hopped back in Virginia and started moving around crazy again. So it's like, do you really want this or not? Like that's the moral of the story. If you're an artist, if you're a creative, what are you willing to do for your dream?
A lot of people don't want it bad enough.
But that's something, that's a realization they got to come to.
Well, really what it is, bro, a lot of people are lazy. They're just lazy as a person. So
I can't say that because it's going to look like No,
it's truth. Not even just in their music career.
Mm-hmm.
It's just in life. You know what I'm saying? Like they're just, they've been lazy their whole life. And now that's apparent in their music career.
Yeah. And you know what I liken it to? I liken it to your point, when people are in high school, everything is so much about, participation trophies and what have you. If you're on the football team, the basketball team, all that kind of stuff. While that stuff is important, even if you're in a marching band or you're in the choir, I ran track. I was in the choir. I was in ROTC. I did a bunch of stuff in high school. But so much of that is like it becomes your identity a little bit. But once you get into the real world, it's like now nobody is really obligated to support you. It's really, what do you want to do? And you got to put in the work, whether somebody's looking or not. That's how you know what you really want to do in life.
You got to put in the work. A lot of people have this like entitlement to where it's like, yo, I'm from VA. You got to support me. Like, no.
Have to support nothing.
You have to be fire. Mm-hmm. Just because you're from VA does not mean shit. You have to be good.
And listen, the funny part is not in every case do you have to be fired. Sometimes you can be mid, but if your work ethic and hustle is more than the person next to you that is the fire artist in the city, you might actually end up blowing up faster than them. That's a real thing. It's a lot of artists who are like 1 out of 10. They might be a 7, and the person next to them might actually be a 10 or maybe even an 11. But the person that's a 10 or 11, their talent is on fire, but their work ethic is mid.
That's true.
And they get outworked.
I know a lot of people
You can get outworked.
Most of my favorite artists from the city, like, they just don't do enough to make it happen, bro. Like, one of my favorite artists from out here is my boy 101.
Okay.
He's my friend. Mm-hmm. He has an album called, what's his album called? His album is called, like, I was going to make an acoustic. His album title is long. It's like, I was going to make an acoustic album, but my guitar broke or some shit like that. Maybe look that up. But it's so good, bro. Mm-hmm. It's so good. And he just doesn't do shit, bro. I'm like, what are you doing,
What should he do? Let's talk about it.
Put yourself out there. Make content. Like, try. Mm-hmm. He's literally not doing
He's not making any content?
Not doing anything.
But you think
as
he's
far
dope.
as music, he has like a job and shit. He's very good. Okay. This album. I wanted to make an acoustic album, but my guitar broke. This album is so good, bro. Radio potential. Like, it's very, like, I think a lot of people could relate to it.
And his name is what?
101.
101, but he spells it like that.
Yeah.
So WUNO.
WUN. Bro, he's so talented, bro. And like, I know that he could blow up. Like, if he packages shit the right way and has the right little video, content, whatever it is, it's going up, bro.
Guess what we about to do? I did this on a panel, so I'm gonna do it just because we doing this podcast interview, right? I did this thing where I created like a mini campaign in real life. I was on a panel in like 2 minutes. You ready?
Okay.
Because I could tell you some stuff he could do right now. Can you go back to the thing that you won before with his his album? We talking about.
By the way, if you're listening to this, he's pulling up the SoundCloud link, but this album is available everywhere.
I'm about to do a mini marketing campaign for 101 right now. So the name of his title is I wanted to make an acoustic album, but my guitar guitar broke. So, Kieran, you do video, right? So this is what I would say. Why is there not like a whole series of videos of him in different locales where he's like in deep thought with a guitar, and then the guitar string actually breaks. And then the journey we see is everything he did to put this album together because his guitar broke. Like, why is that not happening? Why are we not talking to a guitar maker or somebody at a guitar shop or something that can tell you the history of guitars and why the strings break and why there's such an amazing instrument as opposed to a piano or a drum? You know what I'm saying? Like, why is he not doing videos talking to camera about his hesitance to why he feels like he doesn't need to make content and the struggle that other artists, right, who are also as talented as him might feel introverted in that kind of way? Why is it not like creating a world where people who are like-minded like him want to invest in his world and like through him discover the music? Why is none of that happening?
I don't know, bro. I think people get discouraged. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, not everybody is like has that ambition. People getting discouraged by failure. Like in this game, if you're doing anything creative, you like number one thing is you have to be okay with failure.
Yeah.
I look at every I've made thousands of pieces of content. Yeah. By the way, if you're listening to this, go listen to Nobody Wants You on this album. Fire.
Nobody Wants You. I'm gonna listen to this on the way home just because I'm curious now.
I'll text you when you leave. It's on all platforms. Okay. But like I've made thousands of pieces of content, bro. And I think the way I look at it, I mean, everything that doesn't blow up to me is a failure. It's not like a failure because we created a moment, we had a cool conversation. Right, it's not like that type of failure, but like it didn't take our brand to like where I wanted to go.
Where it needed to go. Right.
So I'm failing constantly every week.
But it's making you better.
Sharpening my sword. Right.
You got to put the reps in.
And like people just don't go through that because they'll put out one thing and it won't do with it like what they wanted to do. And then they won't drop nothing for like 6 months.
Right. You can't do that.
You have to, like, to me, like, you learn when you fail, obviously, but the trick is to fail often.
Yep.
You got to fail as much as possible, bro.
Consistency is key, especially when it comes to music or being a creative. Consistency is key. This is not a thing of, I do see this a lot. There is this thing of artists subconsciously trying to move as if they were already on The Weeknd or a Drake level or what have you, where...
That doesn't work.
Yeah, Beyonce can do a surprise drop because she has hundreds of millions, if not billions, of fans already. So if she does a surprise drop, what's going to happen is a quarter, if not half of her fans, if not 2/3 of her fans, which are still hundreds of millions of artists, right? People are going to catch on the surprise drop, and the word of mouth is going to get it to everybody else. But if you're doing a surprise drop and you're working with a fan base of 500 people, that means like 5 people, 10 people are going to pick up on the surprise drop. And maybe half of those might think that's cool in the way to do it. And then everybody else is maybe going to find out about it, but probably not. And then you're going to be like, man, Virginia don't support Virginia.
They hating on me.
No,
like,
you didn't,
my God.
You didn't roll it out properly. If you're a newer artist, until you get to that level, you take every single release, every record that you put out, every project you put out, put together a rollout. Like, be thoughtful. Be as thoughtful as you was when you were in the studio creating the project. If you don't put as much energy into your project rollout as you did creating the project, then you can't fault for anybody not understanding where you're coming from or why they should be excited about it in the first place.
I agree.
Period.
I look at being in a local scene like it's like high school, bro. It's practice.
It's practice.
Like right now, the world isn't watching. So, like, feel free to make mistakes.
Make mistakes in your backyard.
Try a bunch of shit, right?
Yes.
So then, like, when the world is watching, you're ready. You're ready for it.
You're ready.
You know, and it's like almost like nothing you do really matters till then. Like right now, I can fuck up, do some dumb stuff, make a bunch of content that flops. But like once I blow up, God willing, and like now the world's watching, like nobody really cares about stuff anymore.
Well, the thing is, nothing matters and everything matters at the same time. It doesn't matter, like you said, because if nobody knows who you are, you have the space to make the mistakes without any consequence. But everything matters because how you start something is how you finish something. So if you are lackadaisical, again, like you're talking about with artists, if you're lackadaisical with your releases now, then you're always going to be like that. Then it's never going to whatever. But if you take every record you release super serious, and then you take every rollout to every project that you release super serious, that means when you do cultivate that fan base and is ready for your breakout moment, you are 100% going to be ready for it. And your thoughts around your rollout, everybody you need to pull in for your team, all the people that you've built relationships with that you need to call in favors, all of that stuff is going to align because they would have seen your journey from beginning to that crowning achievement moment, and you need that. But without the consistency, it's like, I don't even know if I'm supposed to be taking a chance on you and using my context to help you. But if I see you busting your ass year after year after year after year, and it's going somewhere and it looks like it's going to do something, by all means, what do you need, bro? Because I'm here to support now. But if you're so inconsistent, it don't even feel like you serious about your stuff. Why should I be?
I get that also. If you're building, like if you're practicing bad habits in the beginning, you'll get stuck in those bad habits.
There's not really any room or space for it if you remember that almost everybody you know is either an artist, especially around here, either an artist or connected to a artist. Almost everybody. So you don't even really have the space to be playing around with nothing. It's hard enough to get somebody to believe in your dream, period. So if you get a few fans, you need to take that very serious and then figure out, okay, not only how do I maintain these fans, but how do I also show them that I'm on the incline while simultaneously figuring out how to expand your fan base. You got to do all of that. And it's a lot, but nobody asked you to do this either. Like, we all volunteer to be in this music game, this artist game, this creative game or whatever. And every year, no matter if you're at the top of it or the bottom of it, January 1st, you got to reprove yourself as to why you're supposed to be in the first place. That's all of us. Nobody's immune for that. Because you could be hot 2020. Matter of fact, there are artists that were super hot in 2024 that we ain't even listening to right now.
It's probably something that was hot in beginning of this year. That's, that lost.
Already gone.
That lost their, another thing, too, I think artists, a lot of artists still haven't caught on to is it's not about just the music. I agree with what you're saying, too. People can try to move like a bigger artist than they are, and then that really doesn't work. Yeah. But a lot of artists still haven't really started showing who they are as a person. Yeah. They're just dropping the music, which I believe that can be cool, but I think it's a lot easier to reach people and gain more fans, like if people like you as a person. 1,000%. You have to show that part of you off.
And to be honest, when I do marketing consultations or somebody comes on as a client, it's one of the first things that we talk about. I have this checklist, right, that I go through to make sure I don't miss anything. I talk about where are you from? What was your background? Like, how did you grow up and all that stuff? What are your musical inspirations? If I asked you, who is your core demo? Who are you actually making music for? Because who you're making music for and who's actually gravitating towards your music may actually be two different things, right? And our artists don't understand that. And a lot of them haven't been asked that. So sometimes I ask, who are you making your music for? And that'll stump an artist for like 5 minutes.
The clubs, like, bro. I'm making it for the clubs.
Listen, the most general answer I normally get from artists when I ask who you making your music for, they say everybody. Yeah. And then we having a 2-minute conversation about why that's not necessarily.
Nothing is for everybody. Some people drink. Right. Some people drink Coca-Cola. Some drink Pepsi.
Well, some don't drink none of it. The thing is, any kind of music you make can eventually get to everybody, but when you put it out or when you're creating it, it's not gonna be. You're making it for whoever your core audience is. That's the. Like, who is your core? Who is this actually for? And then once we figure out how to get all of them, then we can figure out how to expand it. But we got to start somewhere. Our aim can't be the whole world at the same time. That's not a thing. We got to build something first. And then once we have proof of concept, figure out how to make it bigger than that.
I don't think you'll ever reach the whole world. No matter who you are, what you do,
unless you're like a Beyonce or a Taylor Swift or Michael Jackson, and even them,
not everybody likes Beyonce, not everybody likes Taylor Swift.
That's right. Even at your highest, maybe a billion or 2 people on planet Earth, and it's like 8 billion. So, like you said, everybody's not gonna like anybody. So everybody. So it's.
To go back to what you said earlier, you spend a lot of time reading books, watching YouTube videos, studying the music marketing game.
1,000%.
is there like some known people like is there like who's the best music marketers ever? Like, do people talk about that? Who has that spot?
The best music marketers ever. That's a good question. I don't know if I've ever even thought about that. I know I spend a lot of time on like who are the artists or who are the executives or teams that were behind things that resonate with me. I do spend a lot of time with that. So I would say like for a book, right? I think it's what is it called? How to Learn Everything About the Music Business or something like that. Donald Passman. So guy's a genius. I'll say that for a book. As far as people or executives or artists that I really like their rollouts, clearly what the Clips just did with their roll, that's one of the best rollouts I've ever seen in my entire life.
We're at the fucking Vatican, bro. I know you just went to their last stop on the tour in Baltimore.
Me and the wife and Andrew Hypes, who's actually Justin Timberlake's tour DJ, also from Virginia.
He went with you guys? Yeah,
he met us there. Yep, that's bro. We went to the last tour date, and that was dope. We were able to see Malice and Push, and that was fire. And then I think right after that, I guess they hopped on a jet and went to the Vatican. So that was like,
bro,
that was
to me, I felt American pride. Like even past Virginia, that's some real American shit, bro.
Yeah,
having Clips and Pharrell at the Vatican.
And Pharrell made that speech. I mean, he's so good at that, like making like a big moment, like a humanizing moment at the same time. It definitely makes you proud to be like a Virginian to me, and that is, like you said, an American, but like it's something about. I think we're all creatives, like all creatives are dying to get that message out, like how Pharrell said. I think we all feel like that. Like I think we all want the world to be as one and to be unified. And a lot of us just want to get our dreams out, bro. Like we're not trying to be with the rah-rah or the left or the right or whatever. We just trying to, like, all this other stuff is getting in the way. We just trying to get our thought out, be creative, and make a living for ourselves and our family.
The division is manufactured, bro.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we are American.
I definitely believe
and even like when we get to culture, like people want to say, oh, this is black culture, this is white culture, this is Spanish culture. This is all American culture.
Yeah.
American is a melting pot.
Yeah.
I'm from Bosnia.
Yeah.
I came to America. I'm not from here.
Right.
I look at all this as parts of American culture.
Yeah.
And
I think that's a really good way to look at it.
I think there's a lot to be proud about, bro.
Yeah.
We for the past few years, we've like not had any pride in our country, and I don't like that. I don't think that's leading us down a good road.
Yeah,
because ultimately, if you don't have pride in your country and you don't like, you act like you don't fuck with it, like you don't have any, you don't even want to make it better. You don't care enough to even make it better.
I think there is the conversation of being proud to be an American. I think there's also the conversation to be had of, I'm from America and I live in America, but America has not always been kind to my community or culture. And I think those ideologies or those perspectives are conflicting right now. And I think that's where a lot of the tension and the polarization comes in at. Me, again, like I told you before, my mom did 20 years in the Navy. My dad did 20 years in Marines. I did a few years in the Navy. So, I'm American. My family is American as we could possibly be. I think you can be in that space, but also acknowledge at the same time that there are some things that are not perfect about America.
Of course.
But I think the way that we answer that question as a family, as, individuals and all of that is do your best to try to make the world better. It's a lot of talk happening, but what are the people that are talking? What are they doing to make it better? I know I get up every day and I work for a nonprofit. Me and my wife do a lot of stuff in the community, whether it be the environmental community, the just community stuff in general, the arts and music community, the political scene. Like we try to show up, not just talk. Like we try to show up and do to make stuff better. However, it turns out, is whatever it is. But I know we sleep really good at night because we know we do the best we can and we love home. So that's where I'm at with it.
I know you and your wife also started I don't know if you call it a couples brand, but like Date, Court, Commit.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you doing your research over there.
You guys did a few events. I'm watching, bro.
Yeah.
You guys did a few events. Can you tell us about a bit about that?
Yeah, Date, Court, Commit really came out of, I'm glad you asked me this. I didn't think you were even going to touch on this, but this is dope.
Shout out to Marquita.
Marquita Bianca. She has a double first name, Marquita Bianca, everybody.
Really? Oh, yeah. I didn't know if that was her like middle name.
No. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people think it's her middle name, but she has a double first name. So it's Marquita Bianca Brown. So, Hey wife, how you doing? So see, that's how you like not get in trouble. Like you do that, but I'm just playing. I'm joking. So day court commit came because, and some people know the story, some people don't. Me and my wife were friends, for maybe 10 plus years before we actually started dating. And so day court commit is really based around the idea of, when you're being committed to your partner, and you're dating, there are a lot of dope things you can do. The standard thing is like take someone to the restaurant, take somebody to the movies. But we live in such a dope area that there are a million things that you can do. And so trying to create different environments for people to organically meet, right? Like if you're single, like let's find an area where you and other single people can meet. That's part of it. So that's the date part. The commit part is, okay, you're in a committed relationship. What are the kind of environments or activations or experiences that we can kind of create around that for people in committed relationships? Wait, I'm skipping a step. Commit is the marriage part. So court would be like serious, right? So it's like date, court, commit. So date is single, those fun experiences for like-minded individuals trying to get together. Court is, okay, now we trying to get to the next level where we're doing something serious, fun, lighthearted, but we moving in the same direction. Commit is married, and you still want to figure out fun and interesting and unique things to do even though you're married. So sometimes there's that stigma of we're married, so we don't even have fun no more, whatever. You get in a rut and all that kind of stuff. Me and my wife are like against that. As you see with us going to the Clips thing, that was like a one-day turnaround. We were like, man, we didn't go to the Virginia Beach show. Let's go to Baltimore. Let's go support bro. And bro, we talking about Malice. Like that's bro. Like Malice married me and my wife. You know what I'm saying? So
really? I know that.
Everybody don't know that. And you getting exclusives today.
Come on.
So y'all know him. These are exclusives. Like everybody don't know this. So
he was at your wedding. He was the
No. He wasn't at my wedding. He officiated our wedding. He married us, like legally. He married us. You know what I'm saying? So, we take our vows serious, not only because we love each other and we care about each other, but also because our brother did it. And this ain't nothing we playing around with. So I wanted the best man for the job to do that. And there are very few human beings that I respect more than Malice. You know what I'm saying? And like, he don't play with his faith. Like, he is a man of God through and through. So while we talking about this, I don't want nobody to think because he's killing these shows and he got this dope album out that he's backslid in some kind of way or whatever. He's just as much a man of God now as he always was. I think it's being able to understand that you have this dope discography with the Clips, and you're an evolved human being. You love God, you love your family, but it's that, and I'm still a dope MC. Like that don't ever leave you, right? You got real life experiences, and you got something to say, and the space where he is right now, I think he's a top tier lyricist, but I've been saying that. I was saying that when he was doing the solo stuff. So I'm super glad that he's back with Push, and they tearing everything down, moving. And this I think elongates the career of anybody who is a seasoned artist from years past, to show them that you don't have to have 5 years in the game and be done. If you got something to say, people gonna listen. And so that combined with, again, a rollout, an intentional rollout that makes sense and looks good, you gonna, get to do cool stuff like play at the Vatican. Like, that's hard. So, listen, bro, like the Clips album of the year, I'm saying it. That's what I think. I think they could also get a Grammy for best rap performance. I think Malice is MC and lyricist of the year as far as I'm concerned.
Speaking on the family stuff too,
yeah.
Do you think in 2025 in America, do we put enough importance on family like we should? It seems like everybody's getting married later, like nobody's having kids, everybody's so focused on their career and making money. Do you think we care about family as much as we should?
I think,
because they also say like the birth rate in America is really low. Like at the rate we're at right now, we don't have there's like a replacement rate. And at the rate we are right now, in like a few generations, the population is going to go down. We'll have like half the population.
Yeah. I think what contributes to that is a couple of things. I think inflation, for sure. I mean, things are getting more expensive. It's becoming harder to live off of what things cost. I definitely think part of it has to do with hustle culture. Like, as a society, we're all kind of in the space of what we're, let's be on our grind 24/7. And, you got to make, hit that next rung in your career on the ladder, all that kind of stuff. And I think a lot of people are trying to make sure, I think men and women have, almost impossible jobs in the dating scene. Like, men want to make sure that they're able to provide for their women, and that's the thing. That's a legit thing. They want to make sure they provide for themselves and their family. Women want to make sure that they are provided for and protected, and that's a real thing. Now, I think the messages on how males and females are talking to each other online is skewed, and you're seeing both sides of the spectrum. But I think the intent is, I think people still want to get together, but I think the pressure is on everybody to succeed, to partner up with who you think is your right mate, and everybody got to make sure they come into the table with money and whatever it is. And that pressure, I feel like, can be a lot, and that's what I kind of hear sometimes. Like, man, it's a lot out here dating right now, and so I don't know. I feel for people. I'm very fortunate and blessed that I found the person I'm supposed to be with, and I don't know, man.
You guys plan on having kids?
Yeah. Definitely on what we want to do. Like, we want to, I think we want to, have a little family and have our bubble and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, in my culture, we're really big on family.
Yeah.
Right? And you don't forget about your family. It's a lifelong thing.
That's right.
And I don't know. I was going through that for a while. I started the pod in like 2020 when I was 25 years old. And for a few years there, up until like a year, I've been with my girl for like a little over a year now. I was one of those people. Like, I'm like, I don't know if I can chase my dreams and have a girlfriend, because I was like, I need most of my energy to like put into this. I don't know if I'll have enough energy that like I need to give to this person that they deserve.
Yeah.
I got out of that phase, and I'm really glad I did, because it's created a work-life balance for me that I didn't have. Like, I used to be like super obsessed with this shit to the point where like I'm not even enjoying my life.
Man,
I'm overthinking it constantly. Having a girlfriend has really helped me with that. To like just be able to relax and step away and enjoy life in between the moments, in between hustling.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm happy for you, because it took me my whole 20s to realize where you already are. Like, my whole 20s. And you just turned 30, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, it might have took longer than that, actually. Like, if I'm being honest, maybe 32, 33. So maybe like my whole 20s into my 30s is like, I was hustling hard, bro. I'm talking about, there was a point in Dark Knight where I might have had like 30 people that were part of Dark Knight. Like, we were running around like promoting everything moving at one point. And so I felt like a big responsibility. So I'm trying to make sure, on the personal and in the public side, that my team was good. Like, they were, doing their job but getting paid for it. Make sure we had the next job coming in. We were getting our accolades, trying to move the brand forward, all that kind of stuff. And, a lot of sleepless nights, not a lot of no work-life balance. There was a lot of that. But for a certain extent of that time, a certain part of that time, I was like, maybe engulfed with it a little bit too much. Like, I'm running to Atlanta, I'm running to South by Southwest, I'm running to New York, I'm running to Florida, Miami, Jacksonville, all these places. And like forget how being in a relationship, forget that. Like, I'm chasing my dream. And then like,
at some point you realize like, okay, wait, that is important.
It's all important, right? It's important to have a dream, but you can't want your dream so much that you lose focus on why you're chasing the dream in the first place. Like, your dream, part of your dream should be, I want to accomplish this thing, but what are you accomplishing it for? And what you really should be accomplishing it for is, if that's in your plan, right, to have a family that you are also providing for. But I think I was so caught up in the I'm chasing the dream part, I won't even necessarily thinking about who I'm supposed to be settling down with, or even making plans to prepare for that. When I got a little older, it was like, okay, I am actually doing this for this. So let me start putting stuff in order and start really mentally putting myself in order, so I can be ready and prepared for when that is supposed to be happening in my life. So I'm happy for you, bro. Like,
appreciate it. I'm happy for you as well.
Yeah, man.
Happy for you as well.
We coming up on 2 years, man. We're coming up on 2 years. So
being married?
Yeah.
Come on.
October 20th, man.
Love it. Thank you, bro. Is there anything else you want to touch on? Anything else you want to leave the people with?
Timberland weekend, Timberland Way weekend. They're renaming the street. Timberland Way weekend is coming up. So October 17th, 18th, and 19th. Shout out to Tamaya, Michelle, LaTroy, Trina, Julian, DJ Lou, everybody. Team Lamb, I think, is a part of it. It's gonna be dope. It's a lot going on that weekend. Also, shout out to the good folks at Neon Fest. We got an event happening over there. We meaning Dark Knight. So shout out to my entire team. Like I said, I just onboarded 5 new talented people for Dark Knight. So we are moving crazy. We are knocking out events left and right. But really, we about music marketing. And then shout out to all of the Night Vision crew, right? Like, again, DJ Illmatic Beats, Mike Milborn. Shout out to Shan. I told you we aiming for Bobby Blaze and Tyler Donovan. Bobby Blaze and Tyler Donovan, report to the stage. We trying to get y'all. Like, what's up?
Report to the stage.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
come on.
Report to the stage. But listen, shout out to my wife. That's the last. That's why I ended. Marquita Bianca Brown, love of my life. Bala Fusion Dance Studio and Creative Arts Center. Like, that's our home. That's our baby. Everything we do is because we love home. We both rep Virginia, right? My wife was born in Texas. And she came here. I was born in the Philippines out of my parents, love and all of that. And we eventually, me and my sister and the family, we eventually got to Virginia. But I've been here since I was 4. So Virginia is home for me. It's home for my wife. And we love home. So we're staying here intentionally because we want the best for our area. And we love and have respect for all of our OGs, all of the vets. But the new generation has something to say, and I'm here to support. And we gonna see this thing through. Like, we closer than we think. So everybody, let's get bootstrapped. Let's stay focused. We got something to say and we got something to do. Like, let's get it. We love home. VA all day.
Come on. Thank you, bro.
Yep. Thank you.
Yes, sir.